What's up, guys? We're at the movie theaters about to watch Wakanda Forever. It's us, Vlad and Dave at Midnight Hype. Get ready, because once we're done, we're going to hit you up with a review.
That's right. It's coming fast. Stick around.
All right. What's up, everybody? We're back. Back from the theaters, that is. We just finished seeing Wakanda Forever. And first off, I'm Vlad. This is Dave. And you're watching Midnight Hype. Now, let's get this out the way. Big spoiler alerts. We are talking about the film. So if you haven't seen the film and you don't want to know what's going on or what's happening in it, don't. But if you don't care,
yeah, by all means, stick around because we're going to be talking a lot of spoilers with this movie. And we're just going to go by the whole top to bottom movie review.
Yes.
Just telling you our thoughts and feels about this movie and everything related to it.
So first off, how satisfied are you with the film?
I am extremely satisfied. I am in the 90 plus percentile right now. I'm thinking 96, 97, 98%.
Okay.
That's my rating right now for this movie. And if you're a Marvel fanatic, you should go see this movie. If you're a Black Panther fanatic, Chadwick Boseman and just with the Black Panther biome in general, if you like it, you're going to love this movie.
Now, let me tell you how I feel about this movie. You said you were extremely satisfied. Well, I'm extremely satisfied with the film. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, if you had tuned in last time to our trailer reaction, I said this movie was going to be epic, and I wasn't wrong.
And I'm going to put the link. I'm going to put the link for one of our trailers. It's going to be around here up there, so you can click it. You can take a look at. We did one, I think, is for Namor, and the other one we did the actual trailer reaction. So we're going to put those up there.
Yeah.
What did you think?
It was epic.
It was epic.
It was epic. Like, I could have actually sat down there again straight and watched it for the second time.
Really?
Yeah. It was that good. Special effects?
They were they were better, a whole lot better than the first one. You remember the first one?
Yes.
The last fight scene was kind of like a little rubbery, they look like. This one, no. This one, they set the bar high with like Infinity War and Endgame. The special effects were on point.
Acting?
Oh my goodness,
yes.
The acting was great. Letitia Wright.
Yeah.
And I called it too. I said it. I said she's going to have to put up the performance of her career in this movie in order to gain to be at the level of Chadwick Boseman. And she did. And she did. And she wasn't the only one. A lot of people gave key performances. People that you didn't even expect.
Right.
We got people like Winston Duke.
Yeah, who plays M'Baku.
Gave excellent performances. We got people like
Angela
Bassett. Heartfelt performances that you felt the emotion coming out of her mouth, just everything, even in her eyes. Okoye, same thing with her.
Yeah.
Nakia, same thing with her. Oh,
everybody delivered a stellar performance.
Yes.
Now, script.
Man.
Yeah.
The script was phenomenal. Whoever penned this, and I'm pretty sure it was Ryan Coogler and friends. Whoever was the screenwriter did an amazing job with the story.
So my whole thing, and I'm sure it's been on all of your minds, was how were they going to blend Chadwick Boseman's passing to the story of, Wakanda Forever? Because we already knew that from the trailers that T'Challa was not around.
Right.
That they had killed him off.
Right.
But we never knew how they were going to. How they did it was clever. It felt right.
It did feel right. It felt organic. It wasn't anything that was shoehorned in.
Right.
I remember, again, talking about our last trailer reaction and the Namor reaction and stuff like that. That we were talking about how are they going to pull this off, and they pulled it off very organic, like I just said. It was something that it flowed. It flowed. It wasn't like he was caught in battle or anything like that. It was simply that he had a disease, and there wasn't enough time to cure his disease. You know,
Yes.
it was very.
So they was able to blend in the real world events.
Correct.
With this world.
Yeah,
Event,
with this
right?
world.
Yeah.
Yep, they were able to marry the two and be able to tell the story from that point on. And it kind of focused a lot on, I want to say, dealing with somebody's passing.
Right.
Dealing with closure, grievance, grief. You know, it touches up on a lot of that, and it touches up on how to be able to take what the stimuli that you have around you, these things where somebody's passing away that you really love, or somebody just, some things are out of your control. How do you deal with that? And this movie does a great job in pushing those wheels forward and pushing that whole train forward into getting across to being a better version of yourself, you know? And being able to supersede that and surpass that and become a better version, you know?
Now, another clever writing you're going to spot in this movie is the namor character. Now, if you watch our previous video on the trailer reaction, I said Namor. He said Namor. But in this film, they actually give a definition to his name.
Oh, man.
And it's in the movie, he himself actually pronounces it namor, which means no love.
No love, yeah.
I was like, oh wow, it was so clever the way they did
no
it.
More, namor, no more together, namor.
Yeah,
it's interchangeable with that one and namor, but it was the way they pulled it out and the way they put it in there as to give a proper definition of how he got that name.
Correct.
Come on, man, beautiful.
It was great writing. Yeah. That was a very clever writing. But as far as Namor is concerned, the actor that played him, what is his name?
His name is Tenoch Huerta.
He was excellent. He played the role, because from my last video I said that this actor has to bring it the way Chadwick Boseman brung it for the Black Panther.
Right.
So he's now got to represent the people, the race that he's representing, which is more Mexican.
Yeah, Mexican Mayan descendants that actually left the land and went to the water, and it was something very. It draws a lot of parallels between them, their civilization, and Wakanda. They have very similar ties, and a lot of those ties could be all boiled down to one thing, and it's vibranium. Yeah, vibranium is the one thing that ties them all together, because there's a lot more vibranium than originally thought.
See, originally, Wakanda was thought to have all the vibranium, but we're going to learn in this movie that vibranium was actually underwater.
Right.
The whole time.
Yeah. There's a large deposit of vibranium, especially around where they live.
Right.
So again, it's a parallel. One's in Africa, the other one's in Central America, and the vibranium deposits that they have over there is different because it's underwater. Everything is underwater. It's untouched until they actually happen to deal with it.
Yeah.
They're covered in this stuff. Their armor, their jewelry, everything is made out of vibranium.
Yes.
So they're able to take the hits just like Wakandans.
Now, something else I brought up, or Dave and I brought up in our trailer reaction, we had said this gives us Avatar vibes. There's a reason why now we learned why we said this. For Namor's people, when they're out of the water, they are blue like Navis from Avatar. It's not until they go into the water do they have a regular skin tone. And I was like, oh wow.
That was such a key feature to put in, and I was just like, at first it makes you think, like, did they mess up? Did they mess up with the colors underwater and everything like that? That's how I felt about it. I was like, they must have messed up and not changed the colors or not corrected the colors when they went under the water. But I'm like, this is a multi-million-dollar movie. There's no way this has to be intentional, and it was. Every time they rose up out of the water, they're head to toe blue, and they tell you how that happened.
Yes.
You know, they tell you that they actually have something similar to Wakandans, and it's their version of the heart-shaped herb.
Yes.
That is underwater. Their chiefs, for one of the chiefs from years ago, like hundreds of thousands of years ago, this chief came, got the herb from underwater, crushed it, and had it fed to every one of his tribes. They all died and came back to life.
Yeah.
When they came back to life, they were blue, had started developing gills
on their necks,
and they were feeling like they were drowning in air. So they had to jump right back into the water just to be able to breathe. And the one who was, and you know what it reminds me of right now? Thinking about it right now, Blade. So Blade, right? He was in the womb when his mother got bit.
Right.
So that's why he became a daywalker. He can do both.
Yes.
That's what it reminds me right now.
Yeah.
So Namor can do that too. He could breathe in the air and he could breathe underwater. And he can fly in the air. He can fight on the ground, and he's fast as hell underwater.
And
triple threat.
Let me tell you, Namor's action sequences are dope,
bro.
They're dope. It's amazing to watch him fight. Yeah, it was crazy.
It was insane. Just the way he just took care of business. He handled everybody that was in front of him. He didn't care. It didn't matter. And a lot of his group too, his peoples were fighting just like that too. His people were getting stabbed up like nothing. And I don't know if they have some kind of a healing factor or what. They took hits to the face. They took hits to the ribs with spears, the Wakandan spears and everything like that. And even Okoye was like, yo, what the hell's this? They were on the ground, healed up for like a minute, and then just walked it off.
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
Oh my God. That fight scene, it was amazing. The fight scene that was in the bridge when they were trying to steal Riri Williams, because at first the movie centered around her because Riri is a very smart individual. She's a smart student in MIT. And she has the ability to create things out of kind of scraps and make something new. And she was able to develop something that was able to find vibranium. Because vibranium is very undetectable. No metal detector can find this stuff. It doesn't beat for anything. It's hard to find. And now she made something which the U.S. Literally took from the school that she was at, the MIT. They literally took it from MIT and used that for something else to find the vibranium under the water. And that's how this whole thing started, you know? It's that commotion that was pitting Wakanda and I forgot the nation's name, man. Talokan. These two nations, you know, they were fine separate, but now there's that's having them meet with each other, and they're at each other's throats basically towards the end of the movie because of this technology that Riri developed.
Riri also developed her Iron Man suit.
She had her own version of the Iron Man suit that she's been working for years.
So there's two versions of it.
Right.
There's the one she built from scratch, the way Tony built his first
the Mark 1,
from scratch in a cave.
Right.
And then there's the last version.
And I think that last version, she built it in Wakanda, and they wouldn't let her leave with it. So that to me means that it's made out of vibranium. It's gotta be. That's
because being that it was built in Wakanda, it's more than likely it's using Wakandan tech.
Correct. So imagine an Iron Man suit made out of vibranium.
I'll tell you who she reminds me in that suit. She reminds me of Metroid.
Yes. Samus Aran, Metroid. Yeah, that's exactly what it just. Metroid. The whole feel of it was just very Metroid looking, with a lot of the bulging stuff coming out, a lot of thrusters coming out, and then that again Gundam. It just felt like that too, you know.
Now the actress that played Riri, she was a good comedy relief.
She was. She was the more down to earth. Like, are we really doing this? She's never been in this scenario. She's 19 years old. And she just got dumped into the lap of Okoye and Shuri, and they're supposed to be looking after her because guess what? Namor wants her dead because of this technology. And then on top of that, the U.S. wants her alive because of this technology. So they're at odds ends trying to keep this girl safe, battling these two external forces, you know?
Now, the other comedy relief in there is M'Baku.
M'Baku is funny as hell,
he's
man.
funny
M'Baku's
as hell.
funny. Remember when he came with the carrot?
Yeah. you're gonna see, but
he's a smart ass.
He's a smart ass, but underlining the word smart, M'Baku, you'll come to find out he's wise. He's
grown a lot.
Mm-hmm.
He's grown a lot since the last movie.
Yeah.
And you could tell that he's gonna fit that role where he's somebody that you could find for tutelage, for mentorship.
I could see him as an elder.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In the future.
In the future.
Yeah.
For sure.
Definitely.
Because he keeps it 100%. He goes in when there's a fight. He just jumps in. Remember, he jumped into as soon as he's seen. He's like, fish, man! He went ahead and he just went straight to Namor. He didn't care. He saved a couple people when the place was getting flooded.
Yep.
But he went straight to Namor, hit him over the head.
Oh, yeah.
And then he got decimated,
yes,
man.
He
This
did.
man, I was fearing for him.
I
thought he was going to die.
He gave him like a Superman punch.
He was, it was like, what was that punch, man? I got to put it in the clip. I put it in a clip for, like the bride from Kill Bill when she did that punch. Yeah. It was just like that. It was just boom.
The 1-inch punch.
1-inch punch. Mm-hmm. And this man, his whole chest was blown out.
Yeah.
Good thing he had vibranium armor or some kind of armor underneath his
like
chest
wood.
plate.
Like
it was wood on top.
Mm-hmm.
But he had something else underneath.
Mm-hmm.
This man went through a whole vegetable stand and just was like, damn, that just happened. Yeah, he was dealing with something that he didn't think he was that strong. This guy he felt the power.
Yes.
He even said, remember, because he knows about the Hulk because of Infinity War.
Infinity War.
Right?
He said he was strong like the Hulk.
He said he's strong like the Hulk. He just got punched by the Hulk and he survived. So basically, that was cool. But M'Baku, on top of just the wisecracks and the anecdotes and stuff like that he does, he's very smart. And he was selected. We learned later on that he was selected by T'Challa himself to be able to guide Shuri in the right direction.
That's right.
He knew.
I was surprised with that.
Yeah, that was very surprising that he knew Shuri might need some guidance further down the road because she would be the only one left. The family lineage would come down to her, and Black Panther, the mantle would come down to her, and she needs to learn or at least get some guidance in how to be the Black Panther and how to make wiser decisions rather than just being brash and going 100% in.
So now, Shuri, played by Leticia Wright, and the Queen, played by Angela Bassett. Now, those two, I felt like their job was to bring the emotions to the audience, to make the audience connect with the actual real world passing of Chadwick Boseman through T'Challa.
Yeah, it was a nice bridge that the way they wrote it down for them to have all these emotions. That you could tell the emotions were genuine.
Yes.
You could tell that was really them feeling that loss of Chadwick Boseman through the lenses and then through the character as a result of that. And it was just fantastic to see it. It really brought me, it was very emotional, you know? This movie, one thing's for sure, it's an emotional roller coaster. You're going to be going through ups and downs, and it's balanced right. It's a little slower, I would say, than a traditional Marvel movie, but not enough to take away from any characters. It's slow on purpose to build up these characters and build up what they're going through. You know? It just felt really good to see them, and I hate to say that, but it's true. It felt good to see them show that type of range and emotion, you know, and pull you in as an audience member, you know, and not just cut to a joke or not just cut to like an action scene or something like that. It was very well done, very well paced.
With this movie, what's different about it is that in other movies where the character would just be killed off, in this movie, the actual actor had passed away.
Right.
So the character being killed off and the actor who plays the character actually passing away, it just made it that much more powerful. You know what I mean?
I agree.
But another thing you're gonna see in this movie that I thought was done great was I don't know whose idea was it. Was it Marvel or Ryan Coogler? But how they paid tribute to Chadwick throughout the movie from the very beginning when you see the
powerful.
Marvel logo.
The theater was silent.
Yeah.
Mind you, that title screen was silent of itself.
Yeah.
It was completely silent. But the theater followed suit.
Yeah.
And that made it all the more real.
So in that title, that Marvel title that we've grown to see so many times in different Marvel movies, it'll usually show you the word Marvel, right? And then it'll show you all the different characters from the Marvel universe, you know, going through the letters. Well, this one just showed Chadwick Boseman. That's it. All of his scenes from Black Panther, Civil War, Avengers, Infinity Wars, Endgame. It just shows you just Chadwick.
Everything.
So, you know, this is a tribute to him. And then in the end, they also did another tribute as well.
It was good. It was a good way to cap it off, especially at the end with Shuri, Letitia Wright. She came to grips with what she needed to do.
Mm-hmm.
And she came to grips where it was like, it wasn't even just her mother passing away. It was actually both her and Chadwick Boseman, you know? Yeah. T'Challa.
That's the other spoiler alert.
Yeah, that's the other spoiler alert, which is true.
The queen dies.
The queen dies, man.
Mm-hmm.
And she dies by hand of Namor.
Yes.
So Namor... let me tell you, the technology is very different between the Wakandans and the Talokans. Yeah, it's very different. Theirs is more water-based. These people had water bombs. It was like compacted, pressurized water that they could just throw and the thing just blows up. Mm-hmm. And when he couldn't get into the throne room and made a little scratch off of his spear, he came back with like 6 of them.
Yeah.
And blew the lid off the throne room. Yeah. And that's how you see in the trailers, everything gets flooded.
Right.
That's exactly what happens.
So, in that scene in the trailer where you saw Namor and the Queen separated by a pane of glass, that's that scene.
Yeah. And the Queen was protecting Riri Williams.
Right.
She was there, kind of holding her off in the last place you would expect, but, you know, he knew what to do.
Yeah.
He was going in just for that because he had a reason to go to and kill her. He didn't want his kingdom to be exposed. He wanted his stuff to be in the shadows, and he didn't want the outside people knowing about his city, his population, everything. He didn't want anything to come to his people on the back end of things. But he was there for that purpose to kill her, and he kind of failed. Mm-hmm. But not really, because he ended up killing the Queen.
Right. Yeah.
And that really hit hard for Shuri.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah.
Because first, the brother... So this is a year apart.
Yeah, it was a year apart.
It's a year apart.
So T'Challa died, and then Queen Ramonda happened to die a year later when they came around. Mm-hmm. And funny enough, now that I'm going back and rethinking about this movie, Queen Ramonda actually played a really good part. Angela Bassett played a really great part because she was going around and she was really the queen. She was delegating everything and she was trying to balance everything that was going on with the kingdom. And on top of that, all these external people, nations that want their resources. So she was definitely playing a balance, and then with what happened to Shuri got taken by Namor and his people, and she had to call on Nakia, you know, and she was in Haiti, and there's a reason for that too.
Now when you think about it, now thinking about the movie in itself, this movie is really led by mostly an all-female cast.
Yeah.
You look at it.
Yeah.
And they delivered.
Yeah.
They did a great job. Aside from Namor and M'Baku.
M'Baku, yep. Yeah.
It was just main females leading.
Yeah, Shuri, Okoye, I think Nika was the other one that was Adora Milaje. And I was right. They suited up in the Midnight Angel suits.
Yes.
And it was badass. They look comic accurate. They look menacing. They look menacing. There was 2 suits. And they had them both in the 2 suits. Oh my God. It was cool. They were crushing it. It was
cool.
Yeah, but Riri was another one. Yeah, a lot of mostly female cast that held up this movie, and it did such a phenomenal job that it doesn't matter. You know how a lot of times people say, "Oh, it's a female movie; it's not gonna hold up." It doesn't matter with this movie. This movie held. They held on their 2 feet up high, very nicely. They did it really, really well.
Yes, they did.
We talked about the Chadwick tributes throughout. And I think they capped it off towards the end when we find out, another spoiler, that Nakia had a son. She had a son with T'Challa.
Yes, that's at the very end. But before we get to that, let's talk about Michael B. Jordan's return.
Oh my God! Oh my God!
We didn't see this coming.
This I did not. When people were asking for this, people were asking.
I heard in the grapevine that he was supposed to be in the movie, but I didn't know in what capacity.
Bring him as Black Panther. Bring him as Black Panther. Everybody wanted him to be the Black Panther, but like we had said, we spoke about this on the car ride back. Was unlike Bucky, who was brainwashed. So Killmonger was never brainwashed. No. This is how he was raised. This is how he felt. And this is how he grew up. He always had problems and wanted things to change or be around him. And the way that he is, there's no changing. His spirit is a very vengeful type. 100%. And he couldn't let go of that.
No. So how you're going to see him is... I was gonna say Leticia, right? But
Shuri.
She manages to recreate the
heart-shaped herb.
Yes, the heart-shaped herb. If you remember, when you drink it, it's supposed to take you to
the ancestral plane.
Yes, the ancestral plane. Now, I'm guessing she was hoping to see either her mother, who had already passed away when she. Succeeded in making this herb. I'm expecting she thought she was gonna see T'Challa, right? Or
her father,
or maybe even her father.
Yeah, King T'Chaka. Right?
She ended up seeing Killmonger, and that was interesting.
That was such a twist that I didn't even expect because they set it up like this. And it was beautiful how they set it up. It was so beautiful because the way she recreated the heart-shaped herb, because if you remember, in the last one, Killmonger burnt it all to a crisp.
Right.
He was the last one to have that power, and that was it. In this one, they were able to recreate it using leftover samples of what they had, as well as a little bit of something from Namor and his tribe, because he gave her a necklace from his mother, and that had the original, like the essence,
vein or something.
Yeah, from their version of the herb that they take. That's how they turn blue.
Yes. So
she recreated this using the AI, and she was able to make her version of the heart-shaped herb. And when she ingested that, she woke up. It's like she died and woke up again a little bit, but she woke up in the throne room, the same throne room, just like it was, and it was flooded. She woke up on the bottom underwater, and it was. I like how they added that in underwater, showing that this came from under the ocean.
Yes.
So there was a little parallel right there with that too. And then when she climbed up on top, she thought she was going to see her mother.
Yes.
And that wasn't the case. And you saw the hair too.
Yeah.
That's what got me too. It was a little blurred out, but it was on the throne. And I was like, oh man, it's going to be the queen. You turn the corner, Killmonger. Oh my God. That threw me for a loop.
And if you're wondering why she's seeing Killmonger, it's because at this point of her life, with the loss and everything that was going on, especially with the recent loss of her mother, Namor being being responsible for her death, Shuri was filled with revenge in her heart.
Yeah.
Just like Killmonger
Yep.
was filled with revenge in his heart.
And he is family.
Mm-hmm.
So if anybody was filled with revenge, it would be him.
Mm-hmm.
If anybody was there to see her, it would be him.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how it came about.
I'll tell you what, it was good to see him in that movie.
It was.
I was like, wow, yeah.
It was.
It was good. It felt right.
It felt right. They picked him to do that part. And just that part, you could call it a cameo.
Yeah, pretty much.
But it was just amazing because it all made sense. The parts clicked together.
Mm-hmm.
It made sense for the reason of him being there, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And when she woke up out of that, and she thought she didn't have the powers, first of all, she was like, oh no, this is a trick, this doesn't work, I didn't get no powers or nothing like that. Until she punched one of the suits, and that thing went straight to the wall.
Yeah.
Oh man. And Akia is like, who did you see? Who did you see?
Yeah, she never went
Which ancestor did you see?
Mm-hmm.
She didn't say nothing.
She never said.
No, she said, I didn't see anybody.
She kept
even
it
at
to
the
herself.
very end.
She kept it to herself.
Yeah, even at the very end, she kept it to herself. She didn't tell anybody that she saw Killmonger, because then it would have been something that if she had mentioned that, they would have looked at her differently.
Yeah.
You know, because they would have known. Yeah, your heart is filled with rage, which is where M'Baku comes in.
Right.
Why is M'Baku now?
Mm-hmm.
Right? Still the Joker, still the powerhouse, but gotten a lot wiser. And he knows. He said, whatever, how does your heart feel?
Right.
And my heart died with my mother. And that was, he knew it was eating her up.
Yep.
And towards the last battle, when she was gathering everybody up, and it was a stupid move. She should have never done that. But, of course, it had to be done. She gathered everybody up after they suffered losses from Namor's attack in the first go-around. He flooded the whole thing. They had to go up to the icy mountains where the Jabari tribe is at. And he's over here hosting people like, what you want, snacks? I ain't got nothing, man. This is the frozen tundra. You got me up here. But after all that, she got a ship together and she told M'Baku, she's like, either you with me or you not. I want Namor dead. Namor, he's got to be eliminated by any means necessary. And M'Baku didn't like that too much.
No, he didn't.
No.
He even said, by killing this man, you're going to set forth a never-ending war.
Never-ending war, yeah, an eternal war. And we don't want that. And we learn their numbers, right? So Namor's people's numbers are far superior than those in Wakanda. They got the whole ocean. That's all them. So there's plenty of them, and compared to Wakanda, it's a no contest basically. So the stand that they put on there in the boat, it was more like they were buying time just so she can kill Namor, which, as we learn later on, is hard to do. Yeah. This man, we were talking about this too. It's a good fight. It was a good fight. Namor is damn near unbeatable. He even said he's a mutant. He's the first mutant, going back that long, that far away, that far out. And it was a problem to get this man just to even bleed. Yeah. I think she got him to bleed with the claws up close and personal.
The claws into his back.
Yeah. Clawed him a little bit here onto the back, but it was hard. Even on fire. Yeah. This dude was hard to kill. He was on fire. Yeah. And he was hard to kill. And that's when, towards the end of that battle, she came to her senses and she knew what was best. And she had Chadwick, she had T'Challa in her head, and she had her mother, Queen Ramonda, in her head. Show them mercy, you know. Show them who we really are, you know. They're merciful. Wakanda's a merciful people, you know. But, you know, only so much you can go to that. But she did really well.
Yes. So now, to the secret ending.
Oh, the secret ending with the...
So, the secret is that the woman that T'Challa was involved with, Nakia, right? Well... They had a kid together, and they kept it a secret the whole time. Yeah.
They had a kid, kept it a secret. And
she was living in Haiti. the whole time.
By order of the king, or by order of King T'Challa, he put her over there. He even told her, "Don't come to the funeral.
Yeah.
Don't come to the funeral because we want our son to not have the pressure of the line on his back. You know, not have the pressure of him becoming the next king." Which was cool. And his name was what? T'Challa as well too, right?
Yeah.
So they name him T'Challa Jr. basically, you know?
Pretty much.
And that was cool. And we learned from that Shuri didn't know anything about this.
No.
He didn't tell Shuri. He did tell the mom,
yeah.
But Mom's kept it a secret.
Kept it a secret.
She didn't say anything.
Nothing.
She was real quiet about that. No wonder she knew exactly where she was at.
That's right.
She was like,
She
I know
exactly
where to go.
where to
She
go.
went straight to Haiti. I was like, what? She knew exactly where to go because she knew already. Right?
Yes.
Putting all the pieces together there. But yeah, this movie was so good. And then there was some things that strings back to all these other Disney Plus series. One of them was Falcon and the Winter Soldier, where we have Allegra Dufontaine, and we find out that Allegra Dufontaine was married to Everett Ross, which Everett Ross was the white guy that was in the first movie that was helping out the Wakandans. And this is the thing. Yeah, he works for the United States, but he owes his life to the Wakandans.
Correct.
So he's not going to mess that up by any means necessary.
Right.
So he's doing whatever he can stateside to help them out and trying to buy them time before the U.S. closes in on them, because they're still trying to get the Riri back and figure out how they can get into Wakanda and get their resources as well too. So he's playing a very delicate role between that, and we do find out that Allegra and Everett were married. They're now divorced, and she's his boss now.
Yes.
So even more added pressure on her.
We also know she's putting a team together.
And she's putting a team together, which I think is the Secret Avengers. She's got U.S. Agent. She's got Black Widow's sister on there too.
It's not shown in this movie, but throughout the series,
right.
all the Marvel movies,
you see her coming up.
taking
recruiting.
this. Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's popping up at the end.
Picking them
there
up.
We go.
I got a team. I'm assembling a team. She's the Nick Fury of
pretty much
of that Avengers that she's doing, that Dark Avengers or Secret Avengers, whatever it might be. She's trying to build her own team, and her ultimate goal really is, and she says it in the movie, she wants what the Wakandans have. She wants all that vibranium in the States because they want to be the top dog. Because
and I'll tell you what, oh my God, how the story parallels Avatar. Because what do they want in Avatar?
Unobtainium. That's true.
Very parallel.
Very true.
But
very true.
I remember in the video that we did for the reaction, I said we questioned Avatar.
Yes.
Right, and how was Avatar going to fare against this movie? Now we've seen this movie. Well, guess what? While we were waiting for the movie to start, we saw a trailer for Avatar in the 4DX 3D, and let me tell you something.
Woo!
What a beautiful looking movie.
It's amazing.
This thing is crazy.
Yeah.
Oh man, I could just imagine what the whole thing's gonna look like, full screen, and it looks beautiful. It's gonna be
off the chain, 100%. You already know that movie's gonna be beautiful.
I'll tell you right now, Wakanda Forever is definitely gonna make $1 billion, no doubt, hands down.
I want to see it again.
Yeah, I'm definitely going again. It's gonna make $1 billion.
Yeah.
Avatar is the only movie I see giving Wakanda Forever competition.
Yeah.
The only movie.
Oh yeah.
From what I saw in that trailer, oh man, wow. Yeah.
This movie, and I think Avatar 2 might be the same runtime, but I think this movie was like three plus hours or almost 3.
It's 2.5 hours.
2.5 hours with credits, maybe 2:45.
Yeah.
Call it 2:45. Honestly, the story was that good that it kept you engaged and grossed in, and it's perfect. This movie is great. Like I said, I give this movie an A+. and I really did enjoy my time watching the movie.
Yeah, like I said, I'm going back to see it again. He's going back to see it again.
Another thing I want to touch up on is Namor and his people and how they're able to speak the language, right?
Yeah.
So that they had that Mayan language, and they're able to speak it, and they don't go into like straight English or anything like. The only one that knows English is Namor. Because Namor's been alive for so long.
Right.
He knows the language.
Correct.
Everybody else just knows the regular ancient Mayan language.
If I'm not mistaken, it says his mother's a human.
His mother was a human, yeah.
Yeah, or something like that.
But he did say, well, she drank the thing. She drank that their version of the herb while he was inside her womb.
Because it was just cooking. I said, how's he a mutant if his parents are human?
Right. They were human.
Right. They were human.
And then they drank that and they changed.
Yeah. So it altered their DNA.
Exactly. Basically. It altered their DNA. It affected him. You know, he's the only one that doesn't have a blue skin when he comes out. Right. He's the only one that actually looks human. He's got the wings on his feet.
Yeah.
So I did appreciate that they were able to keep with and stick with the language and translate it on the bottom and have them or Namor speak to them in that language, speak to Wakandans
in English.
And then the Wakandans themselves, they're smart enough to be able to say, hey, we got to learn, because they had his language up and everything like that, and they got the translator on the beads. So they were able to learn the language of them too. So now you got Wakandans speaking their language, English, and then you'll be able to speak Namor's people's language too, that old Mayan language as well too, which is really cool. And Spanish too, because Nakia spoke beautiful Spanish.
Yeah, she did.
When she was in Mexico. Yes. And she was talking to the people. They didn't want nothing to do with her until she started talking their native Mayan tongue. Yeah. And then they're like, okay, your people, at least you know, so your people. Yeah, she brought that she saw him. Kukulkan. Demon, serpent, God. Yeah. So, because of her doing that, she earned the trust of one of the villagers, and the villager was able to tell her more information and give her a hot meal too. Was able to give her more information about Namor and where she could be able to find him. And that's exactly what it was too, because it was that water that was... And it would look like a little pond, but that water actually connected to the ocean all the way down to where his city was at. And that's how Nakia was able to get in there, infiltrate, because she's very good at that, because she's a spy. Be able to go in there, infiltrate, and then be able to get what she needs and get out. Yeah. Which was cool. And I do like the range, and I keep praising Letitia Wright about this, but I do like the range that she brought over. Yeah. Because she was able to see that these people weren't bad people. No. In Namor's people.
In fact, they were oppressed people.
Yeah, oppressed basically by what he put out, because he felt a certain type of way, so he felt that he should dictate that these people should live this way or in fear of other countries because of how he felt. But she's seen that they were actually good people. They were welcoming her with open arms and everything like that too. Remember when that girl got shot? She's like, oh, put down your arm. Remember the girl had the knife to her? Yeah. And she was kind of scared too. She didn't want to kill her. She was just like, And she was, Nakia was telling the girl, just put down your arm.
Use the beads or something to try to save the girl.
Yeah, she wanted to use the beads to save her, because obviously the beads have the technology that you need to stop the wound from bleeding or whatever. And she didn't have enough time, but she genuinely cared about these people, because she could tell they're not bad people. She just changed her mind towards the end and said they're dangerous people because they're led by a dangerous man. You know? And even him, he's got a good side to him. He's looking out for his own people.
I swear, I said this to you in the theater. He gives me Thanos vibe. Because Thanos, when you look at him, you see, oh, bad guy, you know, right? You want to destroy the world. But his intentions is what you have to look at. He himself was trying to save. He believed that by killing off this much, then it could create a new world, and this
bring balance. Everybody doesn't
Correct.
have, people don't have to starve.
Correct.
People could actually make do.
So he had good intentions,
Right.
but just bad execution.
Right.
Same thing with Namor. Namor is all about his people, and he has good intentions for them. And the thing is, he's willing to go the limit.
That's the thing.
To protect his people.
To protect his people, because his people already got pushed out
Mm-hmm.
of where they were at once, and then he saw it a second time around when he went to bury his mother, because he doesn't age fast.
Right.
He doesn't age regular, I should say. He ages very slow. He watched his mother turn old and die in front of him, and he was still maybe like, he looked about like 8 years old, 7 years old, something like that. But you could tell his mind was more developed. So he was able to see that, bury his mom, and he saw the atrocities going on where they were enslaving the natives in Mexico. So you had these people from Spain, like Spaniards come in enslaving them. He saw, he didn't like that. He burnt the whole town to a crisp just so he could bury his mother. Just that, because that was her wish.
Yes.
To be buried back where they were at.
Mm-hmm.
But he harbored a lot of that resentment towards these people from the land.
Mm-hmm.
That he didn't care about anybody.
Yeah.
Just his own people, that's it.
He's not a villain, per se.
No.
By definition.
Right.
Of a villain. You know. But I know in the comic books he flip-flops a lot.
Yep.
You know, but here...
Yeah.
he just puts his people first.
Right. And at the end, with him. I did like how they buttoned up that end with him, where he knew he was beat.
Yeah.
He knew he was beat, and he was beat with technology. He was beat with power, you know, and he yielded at the very end, and they were able to come with a truce,
right,
and had something hanging in the balance where it was like Wakanda is now anything that deals with the oceans. Yeah,
Wakanda is protecting
the oceans. Namor and his peoples now. But
that was the truth.
The truth, yeah, exactly. That's one side of the truth, and the other side is that when Wakanda needs help, when they need soldiers or people, or when they're getting attacked, because Namor said that it will happen. He's seen it all already. When it does happen, where they need people,
the Talokans,
then they can come in,
right,
and they can show up in numbers. You know, so I'm excited. I'm very excited about that.
So it's a truce alliance.
Yes.
Ordeal going on here.
Yeah.
So, so that was the unpacking of Wakanda Forever.
Yep.
Keynotes. Keynotes is go see the movie. It's awesome. Great. Fantastic. Second, it's Namor, not Namor.
as the movie says, it is
not Namor or Namor. It's Namor. Third, don't cheat yourself. Go, if you do have a 4DX theater near you, or even if it's 20 miles from you, go. Go, you will not regret it. Believe me. That theater was insane.
We had the best time with this theater. God. And it was brand new. It was a brand new facility too, recently built within the last year.
It enhanced the movie too. It helped enhance the movie.
And this is by no means a paid promotion for Regal. But hey, Regal, if you want to...
Was it Regal or AMC?
It was Regal.
It was Regal. Let me tell you. If you've never been to it, all the water scenes, you're going to feel the water.
Yeah.
You're going to smell things. If there's something burning or whatever, you're going to smell it. Any opponent or villain that gets punched or whatever, you're going to feel it.
You're going to feel it.
I mean, it's amazing.
Top to bottom, left and right.
Oh, man.
And it looked like fireworks of popcorn going off in the front row there. It was just people losing all their popcorn and nachos left and right when we were at the theater watching this thing with those moving seats.
Oh,
but it enhanced the movie-going experience a lot. And I highly suggest if you guys have...
Definitely. Go all out.
Cinemark, D-Box, I think it is.
D-Box.
You know, but preferably
4DX.
4DX.
Go all
this
out.
Is where it's at. This is where it's
I
at.
know in New York, if there's any New York viewers, you got the Lincoln Square. What is that? I think that's a Lincoln Square AMC. That's like the 2-story IMAX theater screen.
Oh yeah.
You're not gonna lose with that either. But
Right.
see it in that as well.
Exactly.
And other places,
Big.
but the 4DX. Oh man.
Yeah.
That's now how I want to watch big movie events. That's where I'm gonna go for Avatar, which is my next point. Black Panther, Avatar. Now I'm very curious to see how Avatar is going to be, especially in that theater.
Right.
You know.
It's gonna be not just visuals, but the story has to hold up.
Yeah.
Because this story right
Well, I'll
here.
tell you what.
held
Avatar.
up.
With Avatar, the visuals is gonna be stunning, blown away. That's not our concern.
No.
That's gonna blow us away. It's gonna come down to the story now. It's gonna come down to, is Avatar's storyline just as good or better than Wakanda Forever's storyline?
Yeah. Every I'm telling you, I can't say enough about this movie, man. I can't
Yeah.
say enough about the performances in this movie. Just everybody played their part really well and brought their A game, and it just felt like everybody knew this was riding on their shoulders. Everybody took it personal when they were making this movie, and you could feel it. You could feel that they were trying to honor Chadwick with this movie and give their all just to have an excellent viewing experience. You know?
Love it. So, we're going to wrap it up. When you do go see the movie, man, enjoy. You're going to really, really be blown away by it.
Yeah. It was just... It was good, man.
Yeah.
I'm thinking. Let me try not to think about it too much and start crying because it was
It's
very
emotional.
heartfelt. It's very emotional.
It's emotional.
An emotional roller coaster of a movie. The action scenes are there. The CGI looks fantastic.
The acting is crazy.
I don't know what else to say, any more to say to make you go see this movie. You know.
Don't cheat yourself. Go to the theaters. Don't wait for streaming.
And this was our movie review. If you guys liked it, we got a few more movies review on the playlist as well too. You can also check out our trailer playlist. We'll put it somewhere around here. But if you liked it, please let us know. Send us a comment down below. Like and subscribe. That helps us out climb that YouTube algorithm. That way we can get up to the top and get more viewers like you to be able to watch our reviews.
Yes.
Thank you guys, and have a good one.
Later. Peace.
Later.